Play John. Hi. Is this on? Hi, is this thing on? Hey, John Larroquette here with the most of the cast of The Librarians. Hope you liked the first episode if you watched it. And we are live talking to you, so let us know what you would like to ask. And do that in the comments, and we will talk to you for a little bit. And we have some questions that were actually posed prior to. Christian Kane, Noah Wiley, Lindy Booth, John Kim, John Larroquette. Hope you're all well. I'm going to ask this to John Kim. What was your favorite moment to shoot from season 3?
Probably that episode, just because it was like reuniting with friends after having not seen them for about 6 or 7 months. So come back for a third year, and yeah, sort of gotten familiar with the cast now, and you know, I don't know anything else, so I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it, and yeah, it's probably my.
I think that singing thing for me was one of my favorite parts of this episode, because I am terrible at singing. There are some people here who are very, not you. Some are very good at it. You didn't even know the words. You didn't even know the words to that song. But we had fun. It was like one of our first days back, and it was like we all got together and we had a singing rehearsal and we pretended we knew what we were doing. It was really fun.
It was also 2 in the morning, by the way, if I can remember correctly.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like really,
Yeah, it
really
was
late at
late.
night, and
Yeah.
so we were just like...
And you guys were miserable, if I recall, because you had to be wet from the previous sequence. So even though we were shooting in the cave that we shoot in every episode,
Yep.
we have one cave. Plays a lot of different caves. You guys had to be wet down head to toe with sprayers before every take. If I
Yeah,
remember.
We had these like
Time.
kiddie pools that we were standing in, and they would just like drop buckets of
But you
water.
guys
on
were
us.
such good... No.
No.
You guys complained a lot about that, as I recall.
All right, we've got another question here. This one is this is from Grace. Will we see any other romantic relationships develop this season? Other meaning, I take it, other than Flynn, yes, and Barry. Will we see any other romantic relationships develop this season?
Are we allowed to say?
I think we can say in
You can
general
say
terms,
yes.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Next question.
Goodbye,
Great
Grace.
question.
Thanks for being here.
We have a question coming in off to the side there. Do you do all the stunt work yourselves?
Oh, that's a Christian question.
We all do, except for Christian.
Christian's a real weenie.
I don't do any of my... Yeah, no.
Go ahead, take it.
I love doing my own stunts. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm a big Steve McQueen fan, man. I love the guy. I love everything he did, and I've done a lot of research on him. I've done my own stunts for 16 years, and I love doing my own stunts. And I did my own stunts, and I do my own stunts.
Would you say that you got to be more physical this year, that you got to do more of that type of work this season?
I would absolutely say that. It was really, really fun for me. Well, if you don't mind, Jake Stone's going to go to a place where I really wanted him to go, and it's going to be a fun little journey through this season for me, and I got to do it over the span of time, and I wanted to do some more stuff, but I had a director that didn't want me to show off too much, and he was right. He was right. He was absolutely right. And so we calmed it down a little bit, but I do get to go somewhere this year that is going to be very fun for me and very, very fun for Christian Kane. And so I think it's a great character arc that they've got for me this year.
Episode 9. Stay tuned. It's a big show for Christian.
I, on the other hand, am not allowed to do my own stunts. Otherwise, things like this happen. So
You're not allowed to go to lunch.
they keep me in a bubble and they let me out for bathroom breaks. But beyond that, that's about mostly the privileges I get.
And I throw a shockingly good punch.
You do. You do.
Right?
You do.
Christian gives me credit for that.
Last season she hit me with one that I didn't see coming, man. It was really, really nice.
That's how they come.
Question about this episode we just watched. Do you guys actually go into a real submarine? Were you actually in a submarine, or was that just a set?
Great question. We were in a real submarine, man. We were in, what was the thing? I got his hats, man. It said the submarine. It was the U.S.
It's outside the UMC Museum.
In Portland, Oregon. And the torpedo room that I was in tonight, when I unlocked the thing, was the actual torpedo room that they used in Red October. And so it was a little there, and it was very cool. But it was a real submarine. We had 2 cameras down there in a place that was as big as this coffee table. So it was a very cool thing that they did. Credit to the crew.
A lot of our show is reverse engineered economically. We saw that submarine there parked, and we thought, that's a great location to use for an episode. So sometimes our episodes actually get written around available locations that we haven't shot in yet.
Here's a question from Ray, R-A-E, out there in the world. How much influence do you have in the development of your character's personality? I'll start with that. You know, I've often said this, that the writer is the mother of every character that's created, and I believe the actor is the father of that character. That it is presented to the world, but our personalities, our insights, our spiritual life, as it were, not to get too weird, inform the character. So a lot of our own personalities are in the character. It's impossible not to be, you know, I think. Jason Robards once said that every character is stuck with the actor who plays him or her. So I believe we have a lot. You guys could elaborate on that.
Would
if
you
want.
say that this is a fairly communal project in which you have more or less say than you usually do in that regard?
I think more. I think more, just because it's, you know, I think because of the way we work, we trust each other, and I believe that if we go off into a little tangent, the others will follow more easily than in a lot of shows that are very strict. For instance, working for a writer a la David Kelly, for instance, who I worked for several years, it's very word specific. We, you know, as long as we're giving the intent and the actual the dynamic of the dialogue, which has to be there for the plot, I think that's what I feel and I've had before.
And I think some of our favorite moments are the moments that we don't even have dialogue. They're the moments that we spend like looking at each other. I know Christian and I spend half of our episode like looking at each other, rolling our eyes at each other, sort of elbowing each other, punching each other in the back. Like we do. There's so much of
I think
that,
that's really
and
true. That
yeah.
Because we're such a plot-heavy show with so much exposition, sometimes the dialogue gets dominated by just storytelling. So we really have more of an opportunity to inform our characters in the reactions and in the silent beats between us.
Yeah, and I
Those
think
tend to be more improvisational than the scripted moments.
And
John-
you do get
John-
to see our personalities in those too.
John bumped on that as well. I mean, we do get a lot of leeway on this show, which I think is very great. As an actor, you want something like this show. I mean, it's so much fun to see John Larroquette come on set and do his dialogue, do his show, do his John Larroquette thing. It's like coffee in the morning for me. He's unbelievable. That was a great comment, by the way, and the Jason Robards thing I'm going to take away from me for life, and that was pretty good.
Here's a question from Ty. Does the gang, I guess that's you guys, get into more trouble in season 3 than in previous seasons? More trouble?
Stakes are always high when you're dealing with End of the World, but this season they're higher than ever because, as we just evidenced in episode 1, pure evil through the form of APEP has been released into the world, and it's something that we haven't quite seen before. We've seen dangerous things, but this is truly almost outside the scope and capabilities of the librarian team. So yes, this year we tend to get in a lot more
And I
harrowing
think
situations.
we're starting to feel more confident, as the three of us especially, in our roles as librarians. And there's nothing like a little bit of false confidence to get you into more trouble. So this whole
Pride
debate
comes before the fall.
Exactly. So I think there's a lot of that where we're feeling like we know what's going on and we know what's best. And the truth is that we still don't quite know what we're doing. We still don't quite know what's best.
It's from Krista. Will Morgana or Excalibur make an appearance this season? And if so, can you talk about that? No. You would know
Well,
better than I.
they don't make an appearance this season for very specific reasons. Morgana, just because it didn't really fit the narrative that we laid down this year. Excalibur was a more kind of technical reason. We had last year this time traveling episode where we ended up with Excalibur being infantilized as a young, almost newborn magical entity. And the idea was that if he had had full power, why couldn't it have cured you the way it did in the pilot episode?
Right.
So we didn't want to bring the sword back in full capacity because we didn't want that to be a question we couldn't answer.
I never knew that.
I never knew that either.
So we literally kind of avoided
We're
the
all learning
storytelling a
something
little
new
bit about it.
today.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to say that Excalibur's not coming back this season.
Well, here's a
That
question.
actually
If we,
makes
That was
sense.
not in our
That
notes.
was, that makes sense. Though that's
someone
We
online
care
asked,
so much sometimes about our own twisted logic, which we write ourselves into odd corners occasionally, but we feel it's very important that we honor those rules when we lay them down. So sometimes it stitches us up dramatically, and sometimes it pays off great.
That's a great point too, though, because I think that you can create any reality you want in a television show, but then you're sort of bound by those laws that you create. I think to abandon them or to betray them, I think you, as the audience, you smell that. You know that. Oh, wait a minute. They said there was no purple in this world, and all of a sudden there are all these purple.
Exactly.
I
You
think
mean
you
like
have to stay to it.
how you always trip through the door when you come through the door and you make that decision on day one of the
Ah.
show that you don't even know if it's going to go for 3
Right.
years.
And you're tripping for
then
5
there
years.
you're now tripping through the door every time you come
Every
through
time.
a magic
Should
door.
we talk about that? Should we bring that up?
Somebody,
I mean,
Have we ever brought? Have we
I
ever
just brought
talked
that
about
up.
I know. I know, but I'm just saying. We made a decision as
we had like a group
as
meeting.
the Lits,
Yeah.
librarians in training at the time. We're librarians now. As Lits, we said, well, we're going to trip through the door every time because we're going into another dimension.
Yeah, because we're being thrown through time.
And we
and
all made
space.
that decision. We called John Rogers. John Rogers, executive producer, said,
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good idea. So we did it, and now we hate it because every time we go through the door, we got to trip
Because-
I mean,
through
6 people jammed
Yeah.
up in a closet waiting for
Waiting
their
for
action
some-
cue, and then we all have to spill onto the floor together.
And there have been moments where you've been like, but I'm coming into a really serious scene right now. Can't I just maybe like not trip
Rules
into
are
it? And
rules,
then it's like
Booth.
rules are rules, and then you.
But we were dead set against it. Me and Rebecca Romaine were on the phone with John. We were like, man, we're tripping through this thing. Lindy, John was there. And we're like, we got to come through some sort of portal. You got to see us come through a portal. And we stood our ground, and it was the worst ground to stay.
But that's our point, is that you make these decisions because you're so committed to the world, and we're so like.
John decided to use an Australian accent in the pilot, and
he's stuck with it.
He's stuck with
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't stop him now.
I tried, but they won't let me.
It's great.
I tried.
So realistic.
Someone asked
Can't even get out of it now. And he wants to.
He doesn't
Somebody
even know
asked a
he's doing
question online that probably can't. Well, I just answered it by not answering it. And the question was, do Judson or Charlene make appearances this third season?
I think we've already.
I think we can
given
say
away.
yes.
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 Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Just yes. And there's another one. What was? Well, this is impossible to answer. What was the funniest off-camera moment from the season? Obviously, it would be individual for each of us. But thinking of those kind of things, I find impossible. I find it impossible to
Off-camera moment.
off-camera moment. When I hit, you know what? When I hit that pig on the
can't.
road,
I
I
can't.
think driving to work that morning.
The first like 5 episodes of this season to me were totally dominated by John Kim's abs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I think
That was
that's
true.
fair to say, right?
Yeah.
I
Which,
mean,
by the way, if I may say, look pretty
Watching him do push-ups off camera right
Gosh,
before
don't-
he showed up this year in sick shape.
incredible.
Yep.
shape.
Because somebody had told him that down the line there might be an episode where he had to take his shirt off, and he really got panicky. So he showed up
Freaked
in
out.
like,
Like, literally could
ridiculous
not think about
condition.
anything else.
But as a result, he was starving himself. So his energy was like gone. He was falling
Episode 3?
asleep. Yeah.
Episode 3, you're going to be able to see John Kim in full glory.
From pure starvation.
Don't expect too much though. I'm trying to set the bar low tempo.
No.
Then we had one scene
Right
where
up
he
here.
actually had to eat pizza in the scene, and I think that that
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably your favorite scene of the season because you ate a whole pizza.
I got to eat finally. Yeah, after about 4 weeks. No, I was on a very strict diet, and I had a lot of fun. Sort of, in a sense, doing something I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for picking up this character. So to transform myself physically was just another dimension to acting that I had not yet experienced. So that was a lot of fun, and the cast were very,
Supportive?
very
would you say?
So supportive.
Supportive, would you say,
very,
John? Supportive?
Yeah. They,
Yeah?
they stuck with me, which was very lovely, and you'll see the results in a few weeks.
It's worth watching, man. It looks
It's
amazing.
definitely worth watching.
This is from Jane out there in the world. Each character has their special. Will any of the cast be adding to their talents this season?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, other than singing, which is obviously my greatest talent, it's not. Keep talking about it.
This is
A
from
great
Jude.
question that you'll have to wait almost the entire season to find the answer to, but
Right.
it'll be worth it when you do.
From Jude. I take it not Law. Which of you is most like your character and why?
Which of us is most like our character?
Can we each give an answer for that?
I guess.
Sure.
we should.
John, who do you think
John,
is most
Kim.
like? Who do you think is
Um,
most like your character?
No.
No, that's not the
Who
question.
do you think is most like their,
Their character?
Oh, their character.
I think you and Jacob Stone, I mean, besides the obvious stuff like, being from Oklahoma and having that sort of upbringing, I think I like to think that you and him share a very,
Passion for art history.
well,
Definitely.
This is John
well,
painting
I mean,
himself
I
in
don't know if
Florida.
people know this, but Christian in college actually studied.
Art history.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me, that's the first
That's good.
first answer for that, yeah.
That's
So
good.
you
I
you
think-
have to go farther with your performance to play Ezekiel than you think Christian does to play Jake Stone.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'll take that question. I think that John Kim is a lot like Ezekiel Jones. I think that John Kim is very, very confident in what he does. He knows what he's going to do when he gets there. It's amazing. John Kim is brand new to this whole thing. He's done such a great job coming in here. And if you knew how smart John was, especially in NFL football, in Australia, with NFL football, you'd rethink the whole thing. I think that he's an unbelievable. I know. But dude, I'm not going to talk about fantasy football.
No.
We said we weren't going to talk about fantasy football.
Future
I think that he's.
yeah.
I honestly think that he's very close to his character. He's
Most
very
like his character.
cunning. I'll tell you
I'm
that.
gonna say Rebecca is most like Baird because I think she's strong, she's tough, she's smart,
Mothering.
she's funny, she's mothering. She's all those
She's
things.
tall,
She's
just
tall,
like her character.
real tall, real pretty, just like her character. Yeah, I think she's all of those things, and it's an interesting package that you don't see a lot on TV. And I think having a woman that's that kick-ass and that strong
Actually, yeah.
is really amazing, and that caring and mothering and sweet and funny and all of those things. And
Well,
I miss her, and I wish she was here today.
I like to think of Flynn as being my better self. When I'm happy and when I'm in a good place emotionally, I'm more like Flynn. So I'd say he's half of me.
I actually my rap gifts to the cast were because we had an Egyptian god. I got them all essentially Egyptian gods that I felt embodied their personalities, and now that Lindy brings it up, for Rebecca I got a Hathor, which is the goddess of motherhood and beauty, so that worked out. Sort of now that I think about it, and yeah, for Noah I actually got Thoth, who was the
That's Christian.
yeah. Really? Oh, okay. Well, now I know. Yeah. So in that sense, I would definitely agree that Rebecca and Beth share that very caring and very She's just so sweet to all of us and really looks after us and me especially because I need it. But
John, you and Jenkins, similarities?
I don't think so. I think Jenkins is rather conservative. Obviously, I think obviously there's some maybe the stodgy part of him, but I don't really identify with him as much in my own personality as. But of course, you bring it to the. He's erudite. I would like to think I am. He's well read. I would like to think I am.
You are.
I've worn bow ties in my time. I've had
Also
sex.
tall.
I've had sex with Santa Claus's wife.
You're an immortal.
I am immortal.
Yeah.
That's the reason I got the job. In case this show goes 100 years. You know what? We have time for just a few more questions, but I saw one that I want to ask about wardrobe, and that was from who was that from? From Melissa. Asked if we get to keep the clothes we wear, and does Lindy dress like Cassandra in real life as she does, and do you get to keep the wardrobe?
I think I sometimes sort of dress like Cassandra. I like clothes a lot. Critter Pierce and I, our wardrobe designer, have an incredible relationship, and we have a lot of fun designing Cassandra's looks. And I keep some things. I keep some pieces that I really, really love. The sweater from the very beginning of tonight's episode, the blue one, I kept that. I love that. I've kept a couple things. Yeah.
Technically, we're not allowed to keep anything. So what Lindy means is she's borrowing from
Yes.
Electric Entertainment a couple articles of clothing. that I'm
Right.
sure
Or
she'll
occasionally
get
at the
back
end
to
of the
us
year
in
we have an
season
auction,
4.
and you get to
Exactly.
bid on your clothes.
auctioned it. I won it in an auction.
This is from Megan, and I suppose it means us individually as people, not as our characters. What is the one thing we would be surprised to know you guys are afraid of? And I would think that would mean us real people, not us actor people, like it says in the Chevy commercials. Real people, not actors. What is
What
the
are we
one
afraid
thing
of?
we'd be surprised to know you guys are afraid of? John Kim, what are you afraid of that maybe people would go, really? Other than like 18-foot spiders from Australia.
I'm terrified.
nah, spiders I can do. Girls I'm terrified of. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Spoken like a player.
Yeah.
Just setting them up.
Ms. Booth?
You guys aren't surprised by this at all, but I'm afraid of heights. Terrified. I have
Yeah, we actually have to reblock scenes around this particular issue.
Yeah. It's not
If
good.
we're all coming down a flight of stairs, for example, Lindy will start on the bottom step, and we will all be coming down behind her, so that
Yeah.
she doesn't have to get too elevated.
Yeah.
But we work around it.
We do.
Mr. Kane?
I am terrified of spiders. I don't like spiders.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I don't like them. I've
You just
over
went
the-
to Australia.
I know. Over the last couple of years, I've gotten really good with them, but I'm a spider killer. I mean, like, if I see them, I destroy them. Yeah.
Wow,
But
okay.
yeah. I do not like spiders.
Okay.
I can pick up a snake and kiss it right on the mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But spiders for me, I just don't like.
Look, not my thing at all. And I know you said to me once, but
That's
you're always
not,
singing
but you
on
did such
but
a great job,
I know,
though,
but it's,
man. You
it's
let
purely,
it in. You started with
I
the
know,
whole.
it's all false
All right.
bravado, though. If you really knew, if you checked my shorts,
Okay.
you would have seen.
John Larroquette, scared of.
Eggplant.
No.
I can't stand
Is
the
it
way
an
they
egg?
look.
Is it a plant?
Oh my God! The color, it's like a big fat bruise.
I make pickles.
What is
Don't
that
touch
all about?
Anything that says Jenkins.
This is from Kristen, who is the biggest practical joker on the set, do you think?
Well, I'm going to confess to my favorite practical joke that I've been playing now for 3 years, which is so good. But so we always have water bottles. Everybody gets thirsty on set, and it's sort of a pet peeve of the AD department when you see a water bottle left in the shot. So it's your responsibility to make sure that if you put a water bottle down, that you clear it. So I made a habit of writing John Kim's name on all my water bottles, and then I just leave them wherever the hell I want.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'll get chewed out. And
It's such a great
Every
one.
time John will pick up water bottle,
That's it. That's fabulous.
John comes up to me, he's like, I know this isn't mine.
Who the hell's water bottles let that shot? JK! JK!
Oh my God.
it got to a point, like, after the 30th time, I was like, I can't even argue that now. I have that reputation, so I'm just going to have to
I
own
just
up.
kept quiet, man. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, he's gotta learn, man. You can't just. Oh my God, that was you.
That was who was that from? That one about the artifacts? Don't know. Anyway, someone asked if we could use one of the artifacts from the show in real life. What would you like to have in your real life to be able to use in a particular situation?
That's a good question.
Wow, that's a good question.
Well, I've always wished I could travel through time.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna
happen
say,
to
if there's a real
we've
door, I
got we've got the magic door, but we also have got H.G. Wells' time machine.
That's right.
Too, so I'd probably use that.
Because I'd love to see the Beatles again, so I know that I would use that.
Again, John?
Yes, again. Again.
I travel a lot, so I would like to see the magic door would be perfect for me, man. If I could just go somewhere just for a second and just come back, it'd be just great. I love to travel.
I just use it to bypass the 405.
Okay, I think that we have reached the end of this particular session, as I'm told by the little whiteboard. Next
Great
week,
questions.
episode 2. Fantastic questions. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching.